digital twins bring an altogether new approach to delivering outcomes in digital transformation in a much better way. Literally everything that you would ever doing in digital transformation, you could do with digital twin thinking.
This episode was recorded live at Digital Construction Week at the Excel in London, where I interviewed some of the best and brightest in the built environment for a revealing look at innovation and technology. Anand Mecheri is the co-founder and CEO of Invicara, the company behind the industry's first fully composable digital twin platform, Twinit. With more than 30 years of entrepreneurial experience in building ventures involving enterprise software, solutions, and services, with a proven track record of envisaging, bootstrapping, scaling, and creating value in startups in the smart building space, all of which have been acquired by Siemens, where he previously worked at the Building Technologies Division Global Headquarters in Switzerland for 2 years. Anand is a thought leader on digital twin concepts and technologies, and I'm delighted to have him on the podcast today. You're going to be hard pushed to find someone who can answer the key questions about digital twins, the benefits of utilizing this technology, and how we can overcome the challenges of knowledge and acceptance, which can stifle the successful integration of technology within our industry. Anand, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
I'm going to get stuck right in to Twinit. And I personally feel Twinit's changing up the digital twin landscape. It was launched this time last year at Digital Construction Week 23. And it was built to address the lack of market-ready platforms dedicated to the accelerated creation of digital twin applications. Can you provide us with a little more context here and talk us through Twinit's conception?
Yeah, certainly. Our mission is really to enable our partners to twin literally anything in the physical world.
Wow.
Very simply put, anything in the physical world needs to be optimized.
Yeah.
It can be optimized digitally. And if you have to optimize a process or a system, you will need to necessarily bring the physical world that represents to the digital realm.
Okay.
And only then can you apply AI or machine learning or expert systems to do something about it. So that's where we started. If the world has to be transformed digitally, digital twins are a perfect vehicle to enable that by bringing the physical to the digital, or bridging the physical and the digital.
Yeah.
And enabling AI systems to actually do something.
Yeah. So it's a year since you launched it. How have you found the market itself?
Yeah, I think our offering and our business model has been resoundingly validated to the point that we decided not to monetize the application layer. We have been building, as we were developing the platform, we have been building application building blocks, implementing some solutions ourselves directly for some customers, making sure that the developer experience was good enough. And all of those assets that we created along the way, we announced last Monday that we would be open sourcing it to the community.
Nice.
And going forward, not only will we open source what we already built, but everything we will build in the future, will also be in the open source. So the validation came from the last 1 year's engagement with system integration partners, large enterprises who have innovation teams. We realized that there was a real appetite for a market-ready, easy-to-use platform environment to compose applications. Once that validation was reached, there was no reason anymore for us to think about monetizing anything else.
Fantastic.
So anything else we provide to the community just accelerates the adoption of the platform.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a benefit to the entire industry.
Exactly.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so according to Markets and Markets, the global digital twin market has risen by over 60%, will rise by 60% in the next 4 years. So it's clear that there will be reshaping how enterprises operate, offering unprecedented insights and capabilities across various industries. But bringing it back to the construction sector, why are they so essential to this particular industry?
The construction industry has some of the most complex ecosystems, as you know, right? The contract structures are such that there are several stakeholders, there's several specialisms. If someone needs to get a holistic view of a capital program, if one has to deal with very different types of data from different providers of data in different tools, digital twins represent the best way to bring data together and produce insights and actionable information for people to make decisions. So we see the value of digital twins across the whole life cycle of construction of an asset, starting from planning. It could be urban planning or if it's a planning for a particular singular building. Either way, there are use cases around that. There's use cases around design, use cases in construction, commissioning, and the handover, and then in continual operations thereafter. And whole new services can be created, or new revenue streams or value streams can be created by doing that. So we see very, very compelling opportunities, but there are some challenges, right, in terms of how that will actually be realized in this sector.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll come on to some of those in a little while, I think. To put that into context, in doing some research into Twinit, stumbled upon a video of your VP of product management and marketing discussing what seems like an endless list of opportunities for the Twinit platform, from stimulating the movement of people through an airport terminal, didn't even cross my mind, connecting to VMS and Internet of Things systems, measuring the performance and health of a building, and even helping whole regions build and sell real estate, as you were alluding to a little bit earlier, and attract investors and tenants. What projects, though, are you most proud of?
So we started our journey around the built environment, and we are certainly very proud of the work that our platform has enabled in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, where the Vision 2030 and all the new developments that are happening there. There's very little legacy to protect there in terms of what the vision stands for. Everything is being created from a digital centric perspective. So I think if I were to call out the most impressive set of solutions that have been created, it would be in that region. But having said that, I think there is a lot more happening around what digital twins are and where it can be applied beyond the built environment. And I can talk to that too.
Okay, excellent. That's cool. So let's get into that then. I'm going to just start by saying an article written by ICE, Institute of Civil Engineers, explained how digital twins cut across all UN Sustainable Development Goals, such as good health and well-being, clean water and sanitation, and sustainable cities and communities. Away from the actual build then, what do you see as the main benefits?
So we are dealing with a range of opportunities that are human-centric and process-centric and earth-centric in terms of it, the sustainability aspects of things. And the range of possibilities are so wide that it is very hard to sort of nail down and say, which one is, more valuable than the other. And to discuss that in a more sensible way, we need to talk about the different industry sectors where digital twins actually apply. Many times when you think about digital twins in the construction sector, the starting point tends to be a 3D model or a GIS system or maps or something like that, which is true, which is a certain type of a set of applications that you can create for the construction sector around that. But in reality, digital twins, let me put it this way, the most interesting example of a digital twin in today's world that we use every day is actually a Tesla. Right? I'm sure you've sat in a Tesla and you've seen how it has situational awareness around everything that's happening around it. It's making decisions based on what it sees. ultimately getting to be autonomous, right? So if you think about it that way, everything in the physical world can be driven by automation, and that can result in improvement in performance, reduction in energy use, carbon, obviously, as a consequence, improving comfort, reducing use of raw material, improving output from a process, reducing waste. So there are so many significant benefits that you can achieve across every single industry sector that you can think about. And they all fall under these three categories in a way, which is, people, profit, and planet.
Yeah.
Where you're either improving human experience, or you're improving your financial outcomes, or you're improving the contribution to achieving net zero and a sustainable planet.
It's so more expansive than I thought it was before researching and talking to yourself. And like you said, the applications, they almost do seem endless. And as like you said at the start, as soon as you've got something in a digital format, opportunities start to open up with what you can do and what you can derive from that.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Having said that, though, don't want to come at this from a negative perspective, but I'm so keen to get your take on this. A recent survey reviewing literature by Western Sydney University discussed the top 5 barriers to the adoption of digital twins. These included low levels of knowledge and technology acceptance, a lack of clear digital twin valuation propositions, of which you're clearing up right now, project complexities, and the static nature of building data. So from your perspective, what can we do to remove some of these barriers, but especially in terms of the low levels of knowledge and technology acceptance?
So I do think there's a slight twist to all those concerns.
Okay.
And I think the twist comes from the fact that there is a lack of, a strategy around how you approach digital twins as a topic. For most people, digital twins mean something very specific in their minds, based on their conditioning and based on their field of work and their knowledge. And therefore, the arguments are are quite difficult, because many times, I said this in another conversation, if you talk about a term, if you tell somebody, I'm an asset manager,
Okay.
what does it mean to you?
So they look after a particular asset.
As in a building?
Yeah, straight away, first thought building.
But if you also think about it, anybody in the financial sector who manages money is also an asset manager.
Yeah, for sure.
So the term asset can be applied to a million different things in the context of what you're talking about. And digital twins is something like that. So we need to also understand that digital twins are a way of thinking. It is a vehicle for digital transformation. It is not a thing by itself.
Okay.
It's a way of approaching a problem, right? And and I think the barrier here in the construction industry is because for most people, digital twins are like an extension of BIM, which it is not. It is in some contexts, but in most cases not. You could think about twinning a process of planning, or process of design briefs. Twinning, for example, if you're designing a hospital, right? You have hundreds of processes that are involved that have to be delivered in a hospital, from your bedside assistance to a code blue response strategy to, there may be so many things. I'm not a healthcare guy, so I can tell you everything. But you have so many processes. And the design of a healthcare facility needs to consider how all of those processes have to be delivered. So if you think about twinning each of those processes or use cases, if you want to call it. And then as part of that twinning or modeling each of those processes, if you establish what is its connect to the built environment, how should the built environment be created to support that? How should we make sure that those are validated as part of the delivery process? You are opening up entirely new possibilities of digital twins can mean. And that's just one example. And you could apply the same thing to several workflows in construction. So I think the main problem is a lack of understanding of what digital twins can really do for the industry. And then there is the second concern, which is those who are very technology driven. Sometimes I fall into that category. And those who are very, others who are only domain driven, right? They understand what they do. For example, an expert in BIM modeling or GIS would consider they are very BIM centric or GIS centric in everything they think about. For them, a digital twin is a BIM one. And that's a problem, right? So you need somebody, you need people in the industry who are able to understand what digital twin technology can do for them, have a good appreciation of the problems that they want to solve, and find that connect. And that's really the problem, the inability of the industry stakeholders. I'm not generalizing this. I'm generalizing this, that people who do know what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So the vast majority still need to make this connection.
Okay. Do you think we can find the people to open up that kind of conversation and that knowledge from other industries then?
I think the other industries are several other industries are more mature. I mean, when you look at the market reports, you refer to markets, there are other reports as well.
Yeah.
The massive size of the digital twin market today, leading to 130 odd billion or 180 odd billion in 2031. Where is it really coming from? Certainly not from the construction sector.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Right. And even today's market size of double-digit billions, where is it coming from? So if we try to understand where it's coming from, and we realize that there are two significant existing markets where the industry spends money. One is digital transformation. Digital transformation is a broad catch-all term to defining everything you do to improve outcomes using data.
Yeah.
Digital twins fit into that. That's what it does. It's just a better way of delivering digital transformation. Think IoT. It's a $500 billion market. And a good segment of that, percentage of that is driven by outcomes in a digital twin environment.
Okay.
Right? So digital twins are certainly, I do agree with those market projections, but I do see that it's not coming in the way people, think where it's coming from.
Yeah. So it might not be what is an actual digital twin might not be perceived as a digital twin, but it still fits that category.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a new way of doing things.
Yeah.
Even the digital transformation is a $1.5 trillion market, and it's been going on for decades. Digital twins bring an altogether new approach to delivering outcomes in digital transformation in a much better way. Literally everything that you would ever doing in digital transformation, you could do with digital twin thinking.
Yeah. Okay. That's I like the way you phrase that, digital twin thinking. I think that's the word that's missing from talking about it. Okay, so that's kind of where we are right now. And as you've rightly said, the future holds immense potential across multiple industries, across multiple events, if you like. What do you see as the next stage of development of this type of technology or this type of thinking?
I think the more seamless it becomes to integrate AI systems with digital twins, the ROI and the engagement that we will get from the industry is going to get stronger and bigger.
Okay,
and we are working towards that. So if you look at the Twinit architecture, you start by defining a domain model, a model that describes a process or a use case that you want to transform.
Yeah.
You build integrations and pipelines to create a knowledge graph that represents how is that world set up, how is it working right now, and you appify that, as in generate APIs to allow AI systems to interact with that graph and get a contextual understanding of that physical world.
Yeah.
And getting the results back from that AI system, being able to produce user experiences that inform people how to interact with the world in a better way or provide better experiences. So we believe that the more efforts we take to make the physical world seamlessly interact with AI systems, will lead to more, or rather lead to a quicker path to autonomy, which is where, whether it's right or wrong, I'm not being a judgmental on that, but that's where the world is going, and that's where the digital twin opportunity lies.
And is that the reason for it being open source then, and doing that?
So our thinking on that is that our Twinit platform is a compute layer. It's a compute environment specifically created for folks to build applications of their choice, right? It's a truly unique environment to doing that. The application layer is really driven by the developer of a solution that addresses a problem their client wants to address. Now, how do we create interoperable capabilities? So if you look at the UK National Digital Twin Program, obviously it will be a case where there'll be digital twin enabled applications that are delivering outcomes for all the industry sectors across the UK.
Yeah.
How will these systems talk to each other? Now, if everybody builds their own solutions in their own silos, it's never going to happen. So interoperable digital twins is what is going to support a national digital twin strategy.
Yeah.
And the best way to achieving that is by involving or enabling an open source community to collaborate and produce outcomes that benefit the society. And that is the real driver for us. And obviously the commercial driver for us is the more we make it easier for the industry to adopt digital twin thinking and implement solutions around that, the platform that we have built to support that is obviously going to get bigger usage.
Yeah. Absolutely. Support the whole industry.
Yeah.
Everybody wins.
Exactly.
Okay. So finally, from me, we're coming towards the end of Digital Construction Week, should I say. Give us your thoughts about the event.
So we've been coming here for the last several years, 4 or 5 years at least now, I think. And we have progressively grown our participation at the event. Every time we come back, we see improved maturity in the conversations. And we find that this year it was the same. We saw much more engagement from industry stakeholders, much more understanding. Their own process of figuring out how to deliver digitally and how to create new value streams by doing that is maturing.
Yeah.
I think it's in the right direction, and the conversations are maturing. Hopefully next year it'll be even better when we are able to showcase a lot more examples of outcomes.
Yeah, it'll be the 10th year of the show as well, so
right.
That'll be a nice synergy.
Right.
Look forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
And Anand, thank you so much for your time. Been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Likewise. Thank you.